Hey guys, it's Paul from Ashen. It is new comic book day for the week of October 3rd, and we're going to get started. This episode brought to you by the comic book store. It's not actually a sponsor, but we're going to treat it like a sponsor. 30 North Main Street, Glassboro, New Jersey, 08028. Come and check this place out. They've always been generous to us over the last couple of years, letting us film here after hours and not kicking us out. You can find anything that you want here, whether it's comic books, whether it's trading cards, or miniatures, board games, literally anything you can think of. There are literally 2 stores full of stuff. It is a nerd's paradise. Check everything out.
Hey guys, Tim from Capes and Scales in the comic book store. I clapped. Let's talk about, before I get to the trades, I've got these books. These are little mini books for you to buy for Halloween, which is this month, duh. And yeah, you can hand them out to trick-or-treaters. You can give them Over the Garden Wall. You can give them Johnny Boo and the Spooky Tree. We have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We got Nancy Drew. I know there's a couple other ones, so if you want them ordered in time for Halloween, get on that ASAP. But yeah, why give kids chocolate that they love? Give them books that maybe they like. Alright, trade time. We've got Batman, Night Quest, The Crusade, Volume 2. These are going to be really cool when all is said and done. It'll look real nice, because look, there's a little design on the side. It'll be like a friggin' bat signal lit up on your bookshelf. Who cares? I hear you. Justice League, Darkseid War, the complete epic Bonanza edition. Basically saying, this is one of those few things from New 52 we want you to read. So there's that. We have The Dead Hand. I didn't read this, but I wanted to, so maybe I'll read it in trade. We've got Doctor Strange, City of Sin. I read a little bit of this. This was good. We've got Swamp Thing, The Bronze Age. I love these books. I'm buying this, just so you know. I love the Bronze Age, the Silver Age. I like these collections a lot. They're a lot of fun. We have Batman, The White Knight. Paul loved The White Knight. He loved it.
It's awesome series.
Awesome, he says. It's part of the Black Label, so who knows if there's a stray penis in it. We've got... People are so dumb, by the way. Can we talk about the penis thing real quick? Not. Everybody's dumb. You're all dumb. DC, you're dumb for censoring it. I don't give a shit. They're dumb.
There's no penis in White Knight.
No penises, people. You heard it here first. No penises. Alright, we've got Harrow County still going strong. This is volume 8. I was going to say 7. I would have been wrong. Analog. I love this book. This book's a lot of fun. I enjoyed that. We've got Green Lantern still going, because why would that ever end? 7. This is really cool. We've got The Boys. This is Volume 6. You're like, why are you showing me The Boys, Volume 6? This is remarked, and it is signed. What? Signed. Who signed it? I don't remember. It was either Derek Robinson or Garth Ennis. It's one of the two. They're both available. I don't know which one this is. I can't tell. Let's go with Derek Robertson. Why not? Likely Stories from Neil Gaiman. That guy writes a lot. Let's talk about Me the People by Pia Guerrera. Pia Guerrera, it's doing a thing about Trump. You know, we lose all the really great artists to the New Yorker. Stop doing New Yorker things. Do more Why the Last Man kind of things. What do I know? We have the complete Angel Catbird. I don't know what any of that means, but I love it because it's an Angel Catbird. And that's got to be good, right? It's definitely different. Hey, if you like different, Angel Catbird. We've got On a Sunbeam from First Second Books. I enjoy a lot of the First Second books, but I don't know anything about that one. There's a lot of trades this week again. I'm tired. You're going to have to, edit me for time. Jesus. Future Paul. Help. We've got Gravediggers Union, Volume 2, by Wes Craig, the guy who's an artist on Deadly Class. We've got X-Men, Phoenix in Darkness by Grant Morrison. This is part of the Astonishing X-Men run. Or no, the new X-Men run. Who cares? We've got Teen Titans, Volume 3, going strong with Not My Wally. We've got The Wicked and the Divine, Volume 7, still going strong as well. I don't like that book. I'm sorry. We've got Eternal Empire, which has one of the Luna brothers involved. I enjoy them, typically, yes. And finally, we've got Volume 6 of Manifest Destiny. This book is a lot of fun. Historical fiction. If you're a fan, you should read this. Monsters and historical fiction. Alright, first up I've got these blank comics. They're blank. I didn't understand what the story was trying to show me, and the art was just kind of all over the place. I recommend you just buy them and don't think too much about it. Now, they are blank comics, quite literally, all the way throughout. You take them to a con, and you say, hey, draw me Batman. And then you get 20 other people to draw you Batman, and then you have this nice, pretty book, as long as it doesn't get destroyed and fall apart on you. Seems pretty nice, seems good paper, it's probably great. I don't know, I got a million of them, come buy them.
First up, we have Blackbird, issue number 1, and it's okay. Nothing spectacular, nothing... I mean, yeah. It wasn't a book that I would read again. The one thing I will say about this book is we're getting on a roll with Image. We're getting books that are a complete first issue, and by that I mean they give you everything you need to know about where the story is going to be going, the main characters, some of their motivations. This is Nina. She is a girl who had a dream about an earthquake that was coming, and then it actually happened, and while she was running, she was saved by a magical beast, and those magical beasts got everyone to forget everything except for her. She was the only one who could not forget, and that basically wrecked her life, because she ended up becoming that girl who believed in magic, and no one else did, to the point where one night after drunk binging and all that kind of stuff, because her only way to cope with reality is to escape it with drugs, she runs back into this magical world. And that is where things go with this book. Like I said, it's not a book that I would read again, but again, it is a complete book, and I appreciate those. There are definitely some that just drive you nuts because you just don't understand what the hell is going on. This book gives you that. But you might like it. I'm probably not going to pick it up, but it wasn't so terrible that I would just crap all over it.
Alright, people. Here we go. My real first up is What If? What if Spider-Man? What if Flash Thompson became Spider-Man? Why did I pick this? Because it was the most interesting what if, because I don't like the X-Men. What if I like the X-Men? That's what they should have titled it. I don't. Anyways, this is about Flash Thompson becoming basically same scenario, but he becomes Spider-Man. It's a very different world, because Flash Thompson is a complete jerk from Jump Street. Peter is just timid and a nerd and everything. And he's still photographing Spider-Man, but he's very, very upset with how he is over-violent, and he's making kids cry, and it's just not good. But the cops are like, he's defeating all these big villains and whatnot. Basically, everything happens the same, but Flash Thompson stops that robber who would eventually go on to kill Uncle Ben. So Uncle Ben's still alive. He clotheslined the shit out of him. So Uncle Ben's still alive. The problem, Aunt May is about to die. She is quite sick, and the only person who could probably help her is Spider-Man, which is Flash Thompson and not Peter Parker. It's a very convoluted thing, but it's a lot simpler without me trying to not spoil this for you. It's a fun read. The only complaint I guess I have is it kind of ends abruptly. It comes to a conclusion just like that, and I don't know. I enjoyed where it was going. I just wanted it to go a little longer. But I understand, it's a one-shot kind of thing. Really interesting take on the Spider-Man mythos.
Next up, we have X-Men Black Magneto, issue number 1. I don't know if these are ongoing or not, or if it's that kind of thing that Marvel is getting out of a habit of doing one story and then putting that story through 4 different lenses and giving you just massive amounts of number 1s. But I feel like that's what's going to be happening with this book. We are basically introducing Magneto back to the storyline. I don't know if this is going to be ongoing or not, but Magneto is in San Antonio, Texas, or some southern Texas town, because we are getting the allegory of ripped from the headlines. Mutants are being separated from their families. Children are being separated and put into, for lack of a better term, concentration camps. And Magneto is just not that dude. And it's Claremont. The Claremont writing is there. It's very clear where he's going with this book. It was decent. I wouldn't say it's going to be like the greatest book I've read, but it was more than enough to pick up for the art, which I didn't particularly like, but it wasn't bad anyway. If you see the cover is Campbell art. I love Campbell art, and I think what they're doing here is to put Campbell art on these next 5 books to get you at least interested in the storyline. And it was enough to get me interested in the storyline, and I'll probably check out the next issue of Magneto to see where this goes with the story.
All right. Next up we have Rainbow Brite, number 1. Why Rainbow Brite? Because I was a kid in the 80s. I had an older sister. I still have her. 3 years older than me, so she was very into Rainbow Brite and Gem and things from that era. That was the correct time frame for us. I remember Gem a lot better than I remember Rainbow Brite, so I'm like, let me refresh my memory. I don't think this helped me per se. Basically, what it is it focuses on Wisp and Willow. Willow-Wisp, you get it. They are young kids, and they're basically LARPing the whole time in a fantasy world. And just normal day-to-day stuff, interacting with their family, but they're just trying to LARP and have a good time playing D&D, for lack of a better term. And all of a sudden these monsters show up, and they start sucking the color out of the world. And for some reason, Wisp, Rainbow Brite, can see them when no other human really should be able to. And it accomplishes a lot of groundwork on who she is prior to becoming Rainbow Brite. It gives you a super basic example of what the story will be going forward, and leaves enough mystery for you to want to come back. I enjoyed the book. I thought it was really good. Yeah, I liked it. I got nothing bad to say about you, Rainbow Brite. Good work.
All right, guys, and my pick of the week, it's back to prominence because it is Batman issue number 56, and it's a foil cover.
God. It hurts.
Whew.
So foily.
It's so foily.
So foily.
It's so foily.
It's so foily.
But it is Tony Daniel's art, and it is amazing. I can't spoil what happened in the last issue, but if you're a fan of Batman, if you're a fan of Batman's extended family, you're pissed. And just like I am, I'm pissed. This issue does not really go a lot into resolving that. We get bits and pieces and little conversations here and there of what may have happened, or assumptions as to what has happened, what has transpired. But it is Batman tracking down KG Beast, which is harder than expected because KG Beast is literally the greatest assassin in the DC universe, or at least Batman's segment of the DC universe. So it is basically going back and forth between that, a conversation between KG Beast and his father, and Batman tracking down KG Beast and finding him at his father's house. What happens next, you're going to have to read. It's a fantastic issue. The art is amazing. Tom King does his usual amazing work on this, and you should be picking this one up. This particular series is amazing, or at least this particular arc, because I just love Tony Daniel's arc. I loved everything he did in The Gift. I wish that this would just be a regular monthly, and Tony would be the artist of record. But he's not, so we have to enjoy it while we have it, and that's pretty much it. But you need to pick up this book.
All right, pick of the week time. Dead Rabbit. Dead Rabbit. From Image Comics. Jerry Dugan and John McCrea. This book was so much fun, and I love to see where it's going to go. It is about a man who terrorized, I think they said Boston, throughout the 90s, and it's basically like he was this Robin Hood kind of character, but just like way violent. I guess Robin Hood's not fair because he kept most of the money, but he terrorized the good and the bad alike, and no one knew who he was. He disappeared after ripping off somebody, probably the mob, of millions of dollars. This takes place years later when you find out that he doesn't have the money anymore, and he's, older and not as spry, and it's kind of like, well, what would one more job really take? Interesting take on a noirish kind of gangstery genre. He's not a bad guy. He's not a good... Well, he's definitely not a good guy. You know what? He's a terrible person. Let's just call it what it is. But he wore a mask and he was called Dead Rabbit, and everyone hated him. And now he returns, and things, of course, go terribly, terribly bad for him. So, if you enjoy people punching other people with brass knuckles, this is for you! Which means it is for me. Good work, everybody. Alright guys, it's the end of the video, so we're done talking about comics. Or are we? Because I've got this book from a nice Irish chap who dropped off this book and said, I love you, you're that guy from the video. So I'm going to say, I love you too, and this is your book. And you can buy it at the comic book store, 30 North Main Street, Glassboro, New Jersey, and come buy it, because this one's signed. He only signed a handful of them, and you can get one. Come buy this book. It's like $8. $8! You've wasted $8 way dumber than that. Like last time you went to Wawa and you bought like 4 of those quarter-pound hot dogs, then you realized a quarter pound times 4 is a whole pound, and you felt bad about yourself, but then you still had that Ben & Jerry's ice cream because you're a friggin' slob. Get your life together and buy this book. This will help. It's called The Wren. The Wren! It's fantastic. I don't know if it's fantastic. I've had no time to read it, but I am confident that it's really good because that guy believed in his work, and he was a sweet Irishman. So here you go. Buy this book.